something happened between Billie Eilish and Hailey Bieber at Coachella 2026, and the internet has not stopped talking about it since. Billie ended up on stage with Hailey's husband, and the footage that came out afterward between Billie and Hailey set tongues wagging across every corner of the internet. So let's start from the beginning, because this story goes back a lot further than Coachella Weekend 2. In 2009, a song called One Less Lonely Girl was released by a 15-year-old kid from Stratford, Ontario. The song came from Justin Bieber's debut album, My World, and it did something that very few tracks at the time managed to do. It turned concert arenas into something closer to a dating show. The One Less Lonely Girl tradition dates back to Bieber's 2009 to 2010 tours, when the singer would invite a lucky fan on stage, serenade her, and present her with flowers. This became a signature moment during his My World and Believe tours. Every night, a different girl. Every night, a different reaction. Some cried, some froze, some screamed until they lost their voices. And somewhere in Los Angeles, a girl who was about 7 or 8 years old at the time was watching all of it unfold through a screen. Her name was Billie Eilish. Before the Grammys, before Bad Guy, before the green hair, and the oversized clothes and the sold-out world tours, Billie Eilish has never hidden her history as a dyed-in-the-wool believer. Long before she was winning Grammys and headlining festivals, she was the teenager with Justin Bieber posters papering her bedroom walls. One photo has gone viral that shows her as a young teenager with not one, not two, but 4 Justin Bieber posters on her bedroom wall. She posed in a rainbow sequin dress in that bedroom, old-school posters stacked behind her like wallpaper. And Billie didn't just hang posters. Her mother even considered sending her to therapy because she was so obsessed and emotional whenever she listened to his music. There's a resurfaced video of her at around 12 years old, sitting with her dog, saying with complete sincerity, "I'm worried that when I get a boyfriend, I won't want to be with him because I actually love Justin Bieber more." That wasn't a joke. That was a kid expressing genuine anxiety about the depth of her feelings for a pop star she had never met. In 2014, she sent Justin Bieber a direct message. She sent him a direct message back in 2014 and in 2019. Justin replied to it. That message sat unanswered for 5 years. 5 years of waiting. 5 years of growing up, of discovering her own voice, of writing songs that would eventually change the shape of pop music. And still, that DM sat there unread. And then, in 2018, something happened that rattled Billie in a way that had nothing to do with music. Billie posted, "They told me that Hailey Baldwin changed her Instagram username to Hailey Bieber, and I don't know why, but that got to me." Justin Bieber had gotten married, and the girl who had spent her entire childhood dreaming about him felt something shift. That post sat on Billie's social media for the world to see. A public acknowledgement, almost confessional, that the person she had adored since she was 7 was now somebody's husband. Now, fast forward to April 2026. Coachella Weekend 2, Saturday night, April 18th. Justin Bieber locked in on Billie Eilish and delivered the moment everyone's talking about. At Coachella Weekend 2, serenading the pop star mid-set and sending the crowd into a frenzy. Justin Bieber was headlining even before the music started. The main stage was already overflowing, with an audience of 125,000 people, the largest number in the entire festival this year. It was, by all accounts, his first full US concert since 2022. And somewhere in the middle of it all, during the performance of One Less Lonely Girl, the camera caught Billie Eilish being pushed toward the stage by Hailey Bieber. That's the image. Hailey Bieber, Justin's wife, physically nudging Billie Eilish toward her husband on a stage in front of over 100,000 people. And what Billie did next and what she said afterward is the part of this story that split the internet in half. To understand why the Coachella moment hit the way it did, we need to go back to the place where Billie and Justin's paths first crossed in person. The year was 2019, and the festival was, of all places, Coachella. Billie met Justin for the first time at Coachella during Ariana Grande's headline set. She noticed Justin was standing next to her in the VIP section and started freaking out, dropping to the floor before hugging him tightly. The whole interaction was caught on video, and in the most random moment ever, they then started dancing along to NSYNC. And Grande's performance of "Tearing Up My Heart" with James Corden, she dropped to the floor. Not metaphorically, literally, she collapsed overwhelmed before throwing her arms around him. It was the kind of reaction that made the entire internet collectively go awe, because here was this rapidly rising, boundary-pushing new artist, and she was melting like a 12-year-old at a meet and greet. That DM she had sent back in 2014? In 2019, Justin replied to it, and they met the same year. During that special memory for Billie, the singer hugged him, ran off, and then came back to hug Justin again as she cried tears of joy. After that first encounter, Justin sent Billie a message that she later read aloud in his YouTube docuseries Seasons. He wrote, "It's moments like tonight where I'm reminded what I mean to people. Your love for me touched my heart. You are so special, not for what you can do, but for who you are. Remember that? I am so impressed by your aura and presence. You carry a heavy calling. You are an idol to so many." His message continued, "I'm excited to watch you flourish. You are beyond special. Thank you for tonight. It meant just as much to me as it meant to you. I also want to let you know that it feels like yesterday I was 15 singing one time, and now I'm 25, and that was 10 years ago, and it flew by like a flash." That same year, Justin was featured on the remix of Billie's hit song Bad Guy, and the single's artwork was fittingly a picture of young Billie in a colorful dress in her childhood bedroom with a plethora of Justin posters behind her. The artwork wasn't random, it was deliberate. It was a visual statement. This is where it all started. This bedroom, these posters, this obsession. That people laughed at it led here. But the relationship between Justin and Billie wasn't just about fandom and remixes. It became something deeper. During a 2020 interview with Apple Music's Zane Lowe, Justin said, "I definitely feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young, and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn. Everyone telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. If she ever needs me, I'm gonna be here for her." He added, "I don't want her to go through anything I went through." Since their first meeting at Coachella 2019, Justin has seen a reflection of himself in Billie, a child who became famous too early and faced the dark side of the glitz and glamour. He even broke down on TV while talking about wanting to protect Billie from the pressures of fame. He didn't just cry a little. He wept on camera over a teenager he'd met once because he recognized the trajectory she was on, and he knew from deeply personal experience exactly how destructive it could become. Billie, in turn, spoke about Justin on Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. She said, "I am so grateful that he's in my life. Like, truly, it is something. I don't even know how to explain it. I am so thankful for him, and like the way that he was to me when I needed it, and he needed it, and we've talked about it a lot. He could have just said, 'Oh cool, you're a fan? Bye,' and that's it." She continued, and he's continued to be so. "He just doesn't give up on me. And I know that sounds stupid, but it's really true. He really makes me feel so loved and seen, and he's always reaching out to me in the sweetest ways, in the most just comforting ways of just you're not alone in this. I was there." Over time, Justin and Billie's relationship eventually shifted from fan idol dynamics to something closer to a mentor-mentee connection and a genuine friendship. And by the time Coachella 2026 rolled around, that friendship had been years in the making, built on shared experience and mutual understanding of what fame does to the people it chooses too young. Which brings us to the question everyone was asking when the footage dropped. If Billie and Justin are so close, if they're friends, if this relationship has been public for years, then why did Billie react the way she did on that stage? Coachella Weekend 2, April 18th, 2026. Justin delivered a 90-minute set focused on emotion, interweaving hits from his two new albums, Swag and Swag 2, released in 2025. With nostalgic melodies, the set was structured as a retrospective of sorts. Her cameo unfolded during a music video interlude, with Bieber duetting his younger self through archival YouTube clips. Old concert footage of a teenage Justin played on the screens, while the 32-year-old version stood center stage, bridging the gap between then and now. Bieber closed out Coachella Weekend 2 with a retrospective of his pair of Swag albums, which took up the majority of the set. But woven between the newer material were the throwbacks, Baby, Beauty, and a Beat As Long As You Love Me. Justin's headline set during Weekend 2 included multiple collaborations, with SZA joining him for Snooze, Sexy Red for Sweet Spot, and Big Sean for performances of As Long As You Love Me and No Pressure. The guest list was stacked, the energy was building, and then, midway through the set, the opening notes of One Less Lonely Girl began to play. Justin's wife, makeup guru Hailey Bieber, had been dancing along with Billie moments prior. As the pair stood in the front of the festival's VIP box, Hailey then pushed her pal up onto the stage when the gushy track's opening lines were heard. This is where the story gets wild. In an IG story shared by Claudia Sulowski, Billie's brother Phineas's girlfriend, Hailey and Billie were seen vibing side by side in the crowd, arms around each other, singing along like it was just another concert night. Then, midway through the song, Hailey was seen smiling, hyping her up, and nudging Billie toward the barricade and onto the stage. Hailey, who many expected to take the stage herself, instead encouraged Billie to take the stage for Bieber's One Less Lonely Girl tradition. It is rumored that Bieber did not know Billie would come on stage. That last detail matters enormously. If it's true, and multiple reports have suggested it is, then the entire moment was spontaneous on Justin's side too. He turned around, and there was Billie Eilish, crawling toward him, visibly unable to hold herself together. Eilish crawled up the stage and sat on a stool as Bieber sang the song to her. Midway through his Coachella set, she dropped to her knees. She buried her face in her hands. Justin Bieber gently sat her down and started singing to her like it was 2010 all over again. He guided her to a stool at center stage and sang directly to her. While she tried to keep it together, she failed. She kept covering her face, shaking, laughing through tears, completely overwhelmed. As he closed the song with a soft, "Only You, Shawty," she was pulled into one final hug before slipping back into the crowd. Bieber helped her up, embraced her, and kissed the back of her head before she left the stage and returned to the audience. That was it, 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes. And then Billie was gone, swallowed back into the crowd, back to Hailey, back to her family. But those 90 seconds turned into the most replayed footage of the entire festival. Videos circulating on TikTok, Instagram, and X show her appearing overwhelmed while seated on stage, with many users highlighting the emotional contrast between her global superstar status and her reaction as a longtime fan. The clip rapidly gained traction, with millions of views within hours, and widespread commentary framing the moment as a nostalgic tribute. Social media users described it as a dream scenario and a rare example of a celebrity fan experience, playing out in real time on a global stage. Justin sat her on a stool and enveloped her in a big hug as the song played. And afterwards, Billie ran off stage and returned to Hailey and her family in tears. She went right back to the woman who had put her up there. She went right back to Hailey. And then the next day, the 24-year-old took to Instagram on Sunday to reveal how she was doing after the huge moment, and posted a selfie showing herself with red, wet eyes. She captioned the post, "Can't stop crying." That selfie, red eyes, no filter, raw, became its own phenomenon. But it also became the spark for something else entirely, a debate. The reaction was not unanimous, not even close. While millions of people shared the footage with heart emojis and crying faces, a different contingent formed almost immediately, and their take was far less charitable. Critics online questioned the moment. One wrote, "Aren't they friends in real life? She was with Hailey walking around last week. A bit dramatic to collapse." While another echoed, "It's a sweet moment but felt a little bit performative." One Bieber fan wrote, "Heads up, now a wave of hate is gonna come crashing down on me. I think Billie's behavior was mega over the top. Those stage falls, get that she was excited, but come on. She could have just walked up to him normally. The argument was simple and it went something like this. Billie Eilish is a global superstar. She has multiple Grammys. She has headlined Coachella herself. She and Justin Bieber are documented friends who have hung out, collaborated, and publicly spoken about their relationship for years. She was literally standing next to his wife moments before she went on stage. So why did she act like a 12-year-old meeting a stranger? The critics saw performance. They saw someone leaning into a narrative for the cameras, playing a role that hadn't been real for years. They saw someone who hangs out with Hailey Bieber on weeknights, pretending to be a random fan who got lucky, and they questioned whether it was authentic or manufactured. But the defenders came in just as hard. Fans of both Justin and Billie rushed to defend the star in the comments. That's why she's there living her moment and not you. One ex-user tried to see it from both sides. I keep seeing people say Billie Eilish was overreacting, but you can literally see here that she was in shock mode before she even was on stage. The defenders argued that meeting someone as a friend at dinner is one thing. Being serenaded by them in front of 125,000 people during the song you used to cry to in your bedroom as a kid, while sitting on the exact stool where anonymous fans used to sit during the tours you watched on YouTube. That is a completely different experience. Context changes everything. Setting changes everything. And the setting here was not a casual hangout. It was a public ritual. That connected Billie directly to her childhood self. And then there was Hailey. The discourse around Hailey Bieber after the footage dropped was, in many ways, even more heated than the debate around Billie's reaction. Hailey was dubbed by the internet a girl's girl for helping Billie Eilish's childhood dream come true. Fans praised Hailey's gesture, calling her a true girl's girl, for giving a devoted Bieber fan the spotlight and honoring the spirit of the performance. While she could have easily taken the moment for herself, her decision to step aside and let someone else shine earned admiration. Hailey's presence in Justin Bieber's life has long attracted scrutiny, some of it uncharitable. Here, the unsolicited backstage footage presents a different angle. Not a wife jealously guarding a moment, but someone who knows her partner's mythology, almost as well as the fans, and is willing to share a piece of it with another artist. Billie Eilish stumbles into the spotlight, clearly not dressed or behaving like someone who has rehearsed a glossy cameo, and Justin Bieber carries on with the song, serenading her in the familiar routine. Hailey, now a spectator, is visible in the wings, cheering and filming like everyone else. She wasn't jealous. She wasn't hovering. She was cheering. She was recording. She was, by all available evidence, thrilled. But the people who wanted to see animosity found ways to find it. They dissected Hailey's facial expressions in the clips. They looked for micro-reactions. They compared timestamps. The internet does what the internet always does. It takes a moment and reverse engineers a narrative that fits the story it wants to tell. And the story a significant portion of the internet wanted to tell was that Billie Eilish and Hailey Bieber couldn't possibly get along, because they both have a deep connection to the same man. As one user wrote, Hailey married every girl's childhood crush. Whether that's fortunate or unfortunate, only she will know. And lurking underneath that observation was something uncomfortable, the assumption that Billie must, on some level, resent Hailey for marrying the person she loved as a child. That the old Instagram post about Hailey changing her name to Bieber was evidence of something darker, that the friendship was a performance, and the real feelings were hidden. So here's where we land. The title of this video is Billie Eilish Reveals Why She Hates Hailey Bieber. And after everything we've laid out, the childhood obsession, the name change reaction, the Coachella moment, the debates, the theories, let's look at what Billie and the people closest to her have actually said and done. Billie's mother, Maggie Baird, posted a series of photos and videos of the moment and thanked Justin and Hailey for making her daughter's dream come true. On Instagram, Maggie described the experience as one of the most touching moments ever, reflecting on her daughter's long-standing admiration for the Canadian pop star. It sounds crazy, but we watch our children develop these deep connections to artists who move them. And usually there's nothing in our power to do, she wrote. But we buy them records, and maybe buy them a ticket to a concert, or a movie of a concert in our case because we couldn't afford to see an actual concert. And then came the line that shut down any lingering doubt about where Billie's family stands. Maggie then thanked Justin and Hailey for their kindness. I'm so grateful to Justin Bieber for the kindness he has shown Billie and to our whole family. And to Hailey, who makes so many things wonderful and possible. That's Billie's mother publicly. On Instagram, thanking Hailey Bieber by name. Not a generic shout-out, a specific, deliberate expression of gratitude for a specific person. Hailey Bieber responded to the post with warmth, writing, "Love you guys," and later adding, "So special." And then there's the video evidence itself. Billie returned to the crowd emotional, and Hailey welcomed her back with warmth, as if sharing the joy of witnessing a friend's dream come true in real time. She didn't return to strangers. She didn't slip away to be alone. She went back to Hailey, who was standing right there, arms open, ready. Phineas, Billie's brother, also took to his Instagram story to share a throwback photo of her in 2013, sitting in her bedroom surrounded by Bieber posters. The whole family was in on it. The whole family was grateful. The whole family treated this as one of the most significant moments of Billie's life, and they credited Hailey as a central part of making it happen. It was later revealed that the surprise for Billie was arranged by the couple to honor her unconditional support and love for the baby musician. Justin and Hailey together made this happen as a team, as a married couple who cared enough about their friend to orchestrate a moment that would fulfill a dream she'd been carrying since she was 7 years old. So does Billie Eilish hate Hailey Bieber? No. There is not a single piece of evidence, not a quote, not an interview, not a leaked message, not a social media post that suggests anything even approaching animosity. What exists is the opposite. A genuine, documented, repeatedly affirmed friendship between two women who could have easily been positioned as rivals by the public, but who chose not to play that game. The 2018 Instagram post about Hailey changing her name. That wasn't hostility. That was a girl processing the fact that her childhood crush was officially, permanently, someone else's husband. It was honest, it was human, and it passed. Billie described the Coachella moment as really magical in an interview with Entertainment Tonight. Not magical because Justin sang to her, magical because the whole thing, Hailey pushing her, Justin not knowing, the crowd screaming, the stool, the hug, happened organically. It was real. And the reason it moved people is because it was real. Hailey later turned to her Instagram story and wrote, "All good on apologies. The therapy's already paid for. Save it," a direct response to people who had attacked her in the days following Coachella, assuming the worst, projecting their own narratives onto footage that showed nothing but kindness. The internet wanted a feud. It wanted jealousy. It wanted tension. It wanted Billie Eilish to reveal that she hates Hailey Bieber. What it got instead was a woman pushing her friend onto a stage to live out a childhood dream. Another woman falling to her knees in gratitude, and a family thanking everyone involved while wiping tears from their eyes. Sometimes the real story is less dramatic than the headline, and sometimes that makes it better.